Nice colour scheme on this boat. Mrs. Mallard leading the way and two of her gentleman friends paddling furiously behind, trying to keep up. Once again, really beautiful colours. Coming up to the tunnel now. So I've just taken advantage of this quiet moment to just talk to you, to the camera. It's not easy to do that when there's people milling around back and forth. You feel a bit of a lemon doing that. Looks like maintenance work being done on Dragonfly. You see the scaffolding erected there.
Hello, Sophie, it is.
A few day boats tied up at the front. I think they're still for hire. I believe the Dragonfly usually operates up until October, with maybe one or two special weekend trips after that. Brecon Theatre right alongside the wharf here at Brecon Basin. Nice little cafe. You can get hot snacks, drinks. Quite a few fishermen here at the basin this morning. Nice gardens alongside the canal here, just after Brecon Basin. I can see there's a couple of narrowboats tied up just along by here. Nice colour scheme on this boat. It's called Avenny. I think that's the Welsh for Abergavenny. And of course we're not very far from Abergavenny here in Brecon. These people are so lucky living right next to the canal. There we are, Mrs. Tittlemouse. What a lovely name for a boat. You can actually see how shallow this canal is. You can see the bottom very clearly here. So really you have to stick to the middle of the channel on this canal. Here's an illustration of how this very site looked around 1850. This is known as Watton Wharf or Watton Wharf. You can see that bridge, which is that bridge, 0165. And then I can see the remains of a tunnel behind those trees, which is the railway tunnel. I say railway, it's probably just drams being pulled on up by a horse. Much quieter here today than it was back then. Mrs. Mallard leading the way and two of her gentleman friends paddling furiously behind, trying to keep up. Yes, my old wooden friend again and his horse. Fair play. He's always here every time I come. Seen you a few times now, old fellow, haven't I? Bit of a landmark here on the canal at Watton Wharf, or Watton Wharf, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Canal is right alongside the road here, so as you drive in, and as I drove in today, I came along that way, you can actually see across to the canal, and if you're lucky you'll see a boat making its way up or down. That's always nice. Not sure if we see any boats moving today. It's first week of November, Wednesday the 6th of November actually, 2024. Yeah, the year is turning rapidly towards the end. Before you know it, it's going to be Christmas. Some lovely autumnal colours. The hillside opposite. As so often the case when I come out on the canals, been a lot of people walking and jogging and cycling, so I've just taken advantage of this quiet moment to just talk to you, to the camera. It's not easy to do that when there's people milling around back and forth. You feel a bit of a lemon doing that. Yeah, so come back to the Monmouthshire and Brecon Canal, the Mon and Brec. Here at Brecon. This is where the canal starts or ends, according to which way you look at the map. I always like coming here. Been here with the bike before, but I was a bit wary of that today because I wasn't sure if the towpath would be wet. And also it's a wee bit on the chilly side, so I've decided to walk, and I've come down from the basin. It's about half a mile so far, and I'm going to go down the canal, I guess as far as the lock, maybe as far as the aqueduct, and see what I can see. Weather-wise it's fine. Quite a grey day though, so the colours aren't quite as vibrant as they would be if the sun was out, which is a bit of a shame because they really are beautiful colours, and the canal is looking lovely. It's very full, lots of leaves floating on it. I'm hoping that we'll see a boat. I did see some canoeists up in Brecon Basin, but they were all school children, and they were all over the place making the devil of a noise, as you would expect, but I can't go filming children. That's just not the done thing at all. So but they seem to be having a good time. It's their teachers I felt sorry for. It's not a task I would want to take on. Yeah, they deserve a round of applause for that. I can see somebody's come in, so I'm going to stop talking and carry on with my walk and catch up with you in a minute. Again, the canal very, very close to the road here. The canal looks fairly wide, but it is very, very shallow towards the edges on both sides. It's I think it's probably the shallowest canal I've ever been on or ever seen, actually. You think how this compares to the enormous Gloucester and Sharpness Canal. Well, what a difference. What a tremendous difference in canals. Yeah, it's such a shame the sun's not coming out to play today, because you can take it from me that these colours are really vivid right here in front of me, but if only the sunlight was dancing away on them, it would be even nicer. Still gorgeous, gorgeous colours on these leaves. Some of the trees have lost nearly all of their leaves, and some are still clinging on. But yes, it's a beautiful sight. Every so often you'll come across a sad sight like this tree, which is dead. It's still standing, but it's pretty sure that one of these days it'll come down, and judging by its position, it'll fall completely across the canal. Maybe in the winter storms that might prove just a bit too much for it. It's always a sad sight. Once again, really beautiful colours. Coming up to the tunnel now. This is the tunnel that takes the canal underneath the A40 bypass. A lovely carpet of fallen leaves here on this bend, and a lovely bend it is too. Quite a sweeping one, but it's not too tight at all, and then it bends again shortly afterwards. Nice little boat moored up here. Yeah, it's quite small, about 25 feet. It's got an outboard motor. Nice green colour. Lots and lots of fallen leaves. Oh, there you are. Somebody has just passed me on a Brompton. Oh dear, wish I bought mine now. Never mind, you'll see it again soon. Just look at all those fallen leaves on the water. Isn't it beautiful? You can see there's a slight current heading away from Brecon, and that's because the canal draws its water from the River Usk as it goes through Brecon. So the canal's going that way and the locks are all going downwards in this direction. Even so, it's a very slight current, very slight. Very pretty picture. And there below me is the River Usk, and you can perhaps appreciate the level to which it's dropped at this point. As it goes through Brecon, it feeds the canal at the start, but already by here it's not much lower than the canal, and the river makes its way gently all the way down to Newport, where it ends up under the railway bridge that I went over last week on the train when I went to the Kennet and Avon Canal in Bath. This is Brynich or Brynich Lock. Shortly followed by Bridge 163 on the Monmouthshire and Brecon Canal. Fairly deep, quite a climb up these ladders. This is the runoff. This is where excess water from the canal bypasses the lock when the rear gate is shut, goes along, and then it rejoins the canal further down. Just look at all the grass and weeds and plants that have taken root on the lock gate there. Quite incredible, isn't it? How they survived. Seen several lots of school children today on canoes, enjoying themselves, and these are the kind of trailers that they carry the canoes on when they set out from their base. Just coming up now to the end of this walk. I think I'm going to walk as far as the aqueduct here. I always like coming to the aqueduct. I'm always reminded of a famous line in a Monty Python film. What have the Romans ever done for us? And someone says, the aqueduct? They are built in 1800, some 25 feet above the River Usk. Brynich aqueduct was engineered by Thomas Dadford. And it stands defiantly to this day. Wonderful piece of engineering. Looks like there's some more canoeists a bit further down. Might just walk as far as this narrowboat and then I'll turn and come back. I just marvel at this. Incredible piece of work. And just up the river, back up towards Brecon, is a road bridge which is equally impressive. I'm not sure who built that. The river's very wide at this point, possibly quite shallow, but still quite a lot of water in it, I think. And in that direction it's making its way on down to Newport. And the narrowboat, I think, is not a hire boat, because you can see it's got a fire on it. There's a stove smoking away there nicely. Possibly they're on their way up to Brecon. I think they've been taken on water. There is a water point there. It looks like they might be tidying up their hose. Yeah, so I was talking to the people on the narrowboat, and they've come up this far from Pencackley to fill their water tank, and now they need to reverse backwards back under the bridge where there's a winding hole. So they've asked the teacher to try and make sure the kids get out the way. So leaving Brynich aqueduct, heading back towards the lock, and then making my way back to Brecon. This is quite a sharp bend, this. I remember when I was soloing the narrowboat up here, and I don't think I did it in one go, which is, I'm ashamed of really. I think I had to do like a 3-point turn to get it around. It really is quite sharp. It's definitely 90 degrees. Although there is quite a lot of room. I certainly messed up that time. But you know, that's okay. The thing about narrow boats and narrow boating is it's not supposed to be a fast pastime. And if you need to slow up, go back and do it again, that's perfectly okay. Well, it is in my book. Well, just sat down for a rest and something to eat. Walk back up from the aqueduct. The aqueduct is just around the corner, and come up from there to the lock again here at Brynich, and after this I'll be walking back to Brecon that way, which is about 2 miles I think. And there is a fish and chip shop in Brecon, but I've been very good today and I've come equipped with chicken salad roll. It's much more healthy, I should think. I hope you'll approve. Yeah, so it's been a sort of a dull sort of a day, but lots of lovely colours, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing all that and seeing the canal again. Pity there haven't been boats on the move, that would have been nice. But I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, please give it a like. Do leave a comment. I love to get your comments. Yeah, I really do. That's great, that is. And think of subscribing if you haven't already. Won't cost you anything at all, and if you ever change your mind, you just unsubscribe. But I do greatly appreciate the fact that so many of you have subscribed. That's really lovely. And I hope you'll continue to watch the videos once Gladys is launched, which could be very soon. My rough idea is that I'll spend a little time on her before Christmas, and then I'll moor her up for Christmas and the New Year, and then I'll start my adventures properly in the New Year. It's going to depend on the weather and how bad the winter is, really. So that'll be a whole new game then once I'm on the canal. Yeah, so stick with it, and again, many thanks to everyone who's subscribed and is patiently waiting for the boat. She's on her way. I promise you she's on her way, and you'll be seeing her in the water very soon. Meanwhile, I've got this chicken roll to finish, and then I've got to walk 2 miles back to my car. I'll catch up with you next week from somewhere else, and I'll be doing something else. Bye.